You know, I thought I'd heard it all about the Harris campaign, but this really takes the cake. You know, Tulsi Gabbard, the Iraq war veteran, current Army reservist who rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel, who was a congresswoman from Hawaii. She was a Democrat turned Republican. Well, Kamala Harris put her on what's called the Quiet Skies program that was implemented after J6, to which Tulsi Gabbard wasn't even in the Capitol when this happened. Not only did the TSA see her military ID, but they have to put an unmarked air marshal, canine drug sniffing dogs, and a special TSA agent on the flights with her. Tulsi and her husband didn't know this till they showed up at the airport last week and were basically exposed to extended searches. They said that their passports were marked Quad S, SSSS, which means that passenger is on a terrorist watch list. See, Tulsi called Kamala out during the 2020 debates. She didn't like her stance on Syria. She didn't like her foreign policy. Now Kamala is taking advantage of her position and putting her on a terrorist watch list. Kamala is a big old B. That's all I gotta say.
Man, Wise, and man, big news announced last night. The Unity Party is expanding. The latest addition is none other than former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard, who just officially joined the MAGA train. Kamala is shaking in her boots right now. Tulsi is now fully on board, and the word on the streets is she's also helping prepare Trump for his debate with Kamala on ABC, if it actually takes place. Because at this point, Kamala's asking for last-minute changes to what they previously agreed on. Now, this is also the lady that said that Trump was scared and that he was running from her. But now all of a sudden, she wants all these changes. She's now asking for a seated debate with notes and opening statements. I don't know, guys, but we'll see if that happens. But I gotta say this, and I said this last night. If you are a feminist, if you are a person out there that think that women are just as capable, just as smart, just as strong as men, you should be up in arms right now, because you have a woman out here who wants to be the leader of the strongest nation in the world and looking for all types of concessions, things that we haven't really seen in other presidential races up to this point. We know what happened during COVID. We know that Biden, he ran a campaign in the basement, but we're not dealing with that right now. So you might be wondering why she's had a sudden change in approach. And in my opinion, I think it's because Kamala Harris knows she's vulnerable. She knows that she can't stand toe-to-toe with Trump in an unscripted, unfiltered setting. And she knows that it would expose her for exactly how weak she is and her platform is. The Harris team is desperate to control the narrative, and they think that by changing the rules at the last minute, they can shield her from being called out for the glaring failures of the Biden administration, which she has played a central role in. She knows that she can't stand up to Trump in real time or in a real unscripted debate, and she's trying to protect herself, or her handlers are trying to protect her from what we all know will happen. I mean, this just goes to show you how scared she really is. And again, I say this, man, if you are one of those strong, independent women out there, you should be upset that she is not tackling this head on. This is ridiculous, man. It really is. I want to say this. I'm not going to say that the fear that she has is justified, and they're not going to come out and say that she's afraid, but we know that she is. That's the reason why she hasn't talked to the media, no press conferences, no town hall with Americans asking unscripted questions, none of that. So everything that we've seen so far shows us that she is unfit to serve as president. The Harris campaign is desperately trying to control the narrative because they know that they're in trouble. Behind closed doors, they're in full panic mode. They've even been trying to cut deals with left-wing challengers like Cornel West and Jill Stein, offering them who knows what to drop out of the race. Why? Because they're siphoning off votes from Kamala Harris, and she desperately needs those. Especially in states like Michigan and Wisconsin, where large Arab populations are focused on the Israeli-Palestine issue. She's doing everything that she can to get those folks to drop out, but I don't think it's gonna work.
There's been an attempt for them to reach out to me.
About working in the administration, about backing your candidacy?
Absolutely.
Would you work in a Harris administration?
Oh, no.
Well, what better place to enact change on a system than from the inside?
You can't fundamentally change the system on the inside if you want something crucial like genocide. See, with genocide, you got to have a social movement on the outside that generate leaders who have a history of being anti-genocide. You can't have leaders who've been tied to genocide most of their career and act as if they're going to make a promise and then try to bring you in, and you get co-opted and you end up selling out, and they turn away from their promise, which they've done all the time.
So there you have it. But here's where things get even more interesting. Tulsi Gabbard, the very woman who delivered the knockout blow to Kamala Harris's 2019 presidential run, is back in the spotlight. And she's not just helping Trump, she's endorsing him. Let's not forget that it was Tulsi who, during the 2019 Democratic debates, called out Kamala Harris on her record as a prosecutor, exposing how she put thousands in jail for marijuana violations, and then went on the Breakfast Club and laughed about it when she was asked if she ever burnt the tree herself. Kamala never really recovered from that, and now Tulsi is poised to deliver another blow, this time by actively supporting Trump's campaign. I mean, the writing was already on the wall, but it's good to finally have her in the camp. Check this out.
I don't question Donald Trump's loyalty to our country. And here's why. If it doesn't matter how many people say, well, he's only in it for himself and this and that. The guy has been, 92 or 97 felony charges now. He's being held up in a court of law. He is his bank account is being cleaned out by all of these various charges and rulings that are coming through. The guy is losing money. He is being attacked relentlessly. He has the Department of Justice being weaponized against him. You look at all these things that he's going through. One of the court cases he has now was only picked up again after he announced he was running. Previously, they had looked at the charges and said, yeah, there's nothing here. We're not going to pursue this. Why would a guy like him put himself through that if not motivated by a desire to serve our country and to save our country from the Biden-Harris administration, the Democrat elite, who are actually destroying it? They are actually taking away our freedom. They are actually going after our kids. They are taking parents' rights away from them. They are making our country less secure through open borders. We can go down the laundry list of very, very serious challenges. These aren't Democrat or Republican problems. They are problems that affect every one of us. So, if I were in a position, if Donald Trump said, hey, here's what I think we should do, what do you think? And if I did not feel it was the right thing for the country, I would absolutely tell him so and respect the office that he holds. But I'm not chasing any titles. I'm not chasing any jobs. I'm chasing the opportunity to be in the most impactful position to save our country, because there is nothing short of our future and our freedom that is at stake in this election.
Whoa. Man, Tulsi, hey, she's on it, man. She's absolutely right there. Everything that she said, about Trump, I agree with her 1000%. I do. We got Elon Musk. We got RFK now Tulsi. Now think about this for a second. All former Democrats, Tulsi included. She's been on the same debate stage as Kamala, has crossed party lines to back Trump. Tulsi's endorsement is significant, not just because it adds credibility to Trump's campaign, but because it highlights the growing disillusionment within the Democratic Party. Tulsi is echoing the sentiments of many former Democrats who are fed up with the direction their party has taken, especially under the influence of figures like a Kamala Harris.
It's a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days. I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at our... I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent wars. He exercised the courage that we expect from our commander-in-chief in exhausting all measures of diplomacy, having the courage to meet with adversaries, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief. Because I am confident that his first task will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war. We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace. And we can't live free as long as we have a government that is retaliating against its political opponents and undermining our civil liberties, weaponizing our very institutions against those they deem as a threat. Kamala Harris has done this over the last 3.5 years. She won't hesitate to continue that if she is elected as president. President Trump has been their first and foremost target in this because they don't want us as voters to even have the option to vote for him. I've been their most recent target, added to a secret domestic terror watch list after exposing the truth about what kind of dangers we would face if Kamala Harris is elected as president. We as Americans must stand together to reject this anti-freedom culture of political retaliation and abuse of power. We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future. I am proud to stand here before you today, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. If you love our country, as I do, if you cherish peace and freedom as we do, I invite you to join me in doing all that we can to save our country and elect President Donald J. Trump and send him back to the White House to do the tough work of saving our country and serving the people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Hey, you heard that, man. Let me tell you, man, times are changing. President Trump's back in a big way, making massive rebounds in the polls. Kamala's honeymoon seems to be officially over. She's still hiding under a rock somewhere, though. And who can blame her? After all, she was installed in the most undemocratic way possible, bypassing any real primary process in the Democrat Party. That party has turned into nothing but a tool for the oligarchs, pushing their agenda no matter what the people want. Now, who's standing up against Kamala Harris and this authoritarian move by the Democrat Party? It's not just MAGA folks anymore. No, it's even other Democrats like RFK Jr., who just spectacularly endorsed President Trump last week, and now Tulsi Gabbard. Here's the thing. Tulsi Gabbard isn't just another endorsement, though. She's a key player who's already ended Kamala's political career once before, and now she's back standing with President Donald Trump and ready to do it again. Oh, yeah. The Democrats are in full meltdown mode right now, and it is glorious to see. The Harris camp is freaking out right now. They really are. Trump is gaining steam, and he's got a powerhouse team backing him. Trump just put together the daggone Avengers, man. He put together the political Avengers. This isn't just an election right now. This is a movement, a unity party that's bringing together patriots from all walks of life who are fed up with the left's crazy agenda. I think this endorsement is a game changer. Just a few days ago at the National Guard Association event in Detroit, she took the stage with Trump and the crowd went crazy. Tulsi is still a member of the National Guard, and she's a true American patriot who knows exactly what's at stake in this election. She's not just endorsing Trump. She's actively helping him prepare for a debate against Kamala Harris. And you can bet that if that debate actually happens, Tulsi is going to make sure Trump is ready to expose Kamala for exactly what she really is. A fraud, a propped up, individual by the Democrat establishment. Kamala Harris is a counterfeit individual. Shout out to the brother from Georgia, from the video about a week or so ago. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, about this. They are doing everything that they can to avoid debates. They're trying to buy off opponents. They are, clinging to a campaign that's built on nothing but identity politics and media spin. We know that the mainstream media is shilling and covering for her. We've seen that in the video with Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton's like, when has she said that? When has she spoken to the American people and said that she refutes anything that she once believed in? It hasn't happened yet. We're all still waiting for it, but it's all falling apart, man. And with Trump gaining momentum, it's only a matter of time before the whole house of cards come crashing down. Kamala's internal polling is reportedly showing that things are much tighter than the national polls suggest. While public polls might show her with a slight lead, her campaign knows that in key battleground states, it's virtually a tie. She's in trouble. They know that she's in trouble. And that's why even a week after the DNC convention, she hasn't actually sat down with any reporters, had any town halls, and really sat down and spoken to the American people to let us know who she is, what she stands for, and what this campaign and what America will look like if she is able to become president. And I have a huge problem with that. And I'm hope that all of you guys have a huge problem with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section though. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support, man. I appreciate you guys supporting me. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, the team, the channel. It gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm gonna catch up with you all next time. Before I go, I wanna make sure I give a couple of quick shout outs real fast. Jacque Pezel, appreciate you joining the ARP family. Rhonda McCarroll, I appreciate you joining the ARP family as well. And Carlette Strachan, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Thank you for joining the ARP family. Guys, I promise you, I do not take it for granted. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I'll catch up with you all later. Peace.